The Phoenix Suns have disappointed me in so many ways this year, and I don't even think I should be surprised. I feel like a lot of people had these high expectations for the Suns this year, including myself, and I think we took it a little bit too far. This team was supposed to be contenders to make the finals. Some people even said they were the best team in basketball. But at the end of the day, and truth be told, this team is no more than a playoff team. At least that's how they're playing right now. I know the last time I made a Suns video, I talked bad about them, or at least negatively for the first half of the video, and in the second half of the video, I was like, wait, guys, let's stop for a second. Basically, my justification was that, they were dealing with injuries and the team, they just weren't ready. However, now that we're 25 games into the season, it's been about a month later, and a lot of these concerns have stayed the same. Despite the Suns going on like a 7-game win streak, everything I said in the first half of that video is still existing of a problem. No matter how much Suns fans and myself want to deny it, Phoenix has loads of problems that they need to address before I'd say at least the 40-game mark of the year. Now, the Suns have loads of things we need to talk about, and I think the first thing has to do with Bradley Beal. This week, Bradley Beal once again has gotten injured, and they're reporting it could be about 2 to 3 weeks, although that's not confirmed because of the MRI and stuff. I knew Bradley Beal had injury problems, but I didn't think they were this bad. However, something is telling me that Washington hid how bad Bradley Beal's back was and just all the injuries he's been dealing with. I know the recent injury that he just had was not a back injury, it was an ankle injury, and it wasn't really something, he could have changed. I mean, if you see the injury, this is just one of those things that just fucking happens in basketball. It fucking sucks. The crazy thing is though, I'm not even mad at the trade when it happened. I know a lot of people are going back and saying, the Suns, they should have made that Bradley Beal trade, but look at the trade itself. I haven't said this when the trade happened. I feel like it was a low risk, high reward situation. You traded Chris Paul, which was a very big contract, and it's also someone that was getting up there in age. Chris Paul is still a good player, but if we look at what's been happening this season, it just seems like he's not the same player. Sure, it could be the fact that he's on the bench, but I still think some of this would have happened if he was still in Phoenix. Also, they traded Landry Shamet, which I was so happy when that happened, man, real talk. But seriously, they didn't give up much for a player that could potentially be a 20 to 25 points per game scorer. Unfortunately, I don't think that's what Phoenix really needed. They needed two things. They needed a true point guard, and they needed either a power forward or center star type player. It's just an example. This isn't the exact player I'm thinking of, but like a Pascal Siakam, you know what I'm saying? Someone that is a star power forward that Phoenix could use to round out a big three. However, they traded for Beal, who not only has a very big contract, has a very big injury history, and is just a carbon copy of players they already have. I mean, of course it's nice to have a guy like Bradley Beal, but we didn't really need him, now did we? All right, now I know people have been talking about Kevin Durant a lot recently, saying, oh, let's trade Kevin Durant, but this has to be a very stupid take. I know some people that are just pissed off at the trade that the Suns made to get Kevin Durant, and yes, I agree. I miss Mikal Bridges, I miss Cam Johnson. Maybe the Suns did give up too much, but I'm sorry, but Kevin Durant has been the most consistent thing for Phoenix this year. I mean, if you look at his numbers right now, this man is having his best statistical season since like 2013 OKC. There's nothing bad I can say about Kevin Durant in his time in Phoenix. I guess I could talk about that playoff run from last year, but it's so hard for me to justify talking bad about it because for one, Kevin Durant did not have a lot of time with that team, and it just wasn't right. But as of right now, as far as judging this season goes, I cannot blame Kevin Durant, and I cannot say it was a bad trade. I know the people that miss Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson might say otherwise, but objectively speaking, we got a top 5, top 10 worst case scenario best player in the NBA. And I know a lot of people are going to blame Devin Booker, but yet I'm here to blame him and I'm here not to blame him. And I'm more on the side of not blaming him because whoever's fucking idea was to make Devin Booker the primary point guard is fucking stupid. Listen, Booker at point guard has been an interesting experiment. I'll put it like that. There's a reason why Devin Booker is widely known as the best shooting guard in the NBA. Notice I said shooting guard because it turns out you cannot just turn a shooting guard into a point guard and expect it to work. Devin Booker is the best shooting guard in the NBA. He is not a top 5 point guard in the NBA. Booker is someone that I genuinely believe could average about 30 points per game if given the touches. However, he is not somebody that's going to get you like 20 and 10. That's not what he's going to do. Yet Phoenix did not want to trade for a point guard, so they said, let's turn Booker into a point guard. And look, I'm sorry, it was a cute experiment. It seemed like it could work. It's not going to work for actually winning teams. And the reason why Booker even has to play point guard in the first place is because Phoenix would not get a true point guard. Why during free agency they didn't try to target an actual point guard, I have no idea. In fact, if you look up the Phoenix Suns roster and you try to find a point guard, there is one point guard listed on the team. You might be asking, who's that point guard? It's Theo Maledon. Do you know who Theo Maledon is? I don't. And I guess this all circles back to management, which, oh my god, management, how you have fucked this team up. But first, if you guys are enjoying the video, make sure y'all leave a like and subscribe subscribe to the channel if you have not already. The end of the year is coming, and I don't know how many more videos I'm going to drop. You guys know I usually take a break at the end of the year, so this might be one of the last videos. Gentlemen, we've had one historic run this year so far, and I have a lot to say about 2024, which I'm gonna do probably on a second channel video or at the end of one of my next videos, so make sure y'all stay tuned for that. Also, every like on this video is prayers for the Phoenix Suns to seek some fucking help. All right, let's get back to the video. The fact that management tried to build a big three with 3 players that have a very big injury history is questionable to me. A lot of people say, oh, this Suns team, when they get healthy, they're gonna be fine. But are they ever going to get healthy? It's like me saying, oh, when I talk to that girl at work that I have a crush on, everything's gonna go great. And I'm just gonna break the fourth wall for a sec. That's probably never going to happen. In reality, Phoenix is never going to get healthy. In reality, I am never gonna talk to that girl. Okay, but seriously, the chances of the Suns big three playing in a game together for longer than like a 5-game stretch is very rare. In fact, I feel like a lot of people ignore that, and I was ignoring it myself. Phoenix is very reliant on this big three being healthy for them to be dominant, but when that doesn't happen, you're down to a big 2, and sometimes that goes down to just, okay, now you only have 1 star player, and that's cool and all, except your role players don't necessarily support you the way they should. A lot of the role players that Phoenix brought on this year, like Utah Watanabe, even Grayson Allen, they've been pretty lackluster. And I know there have been some guys that have been good, like Eric Gordon, for example. I think there was a point in the season where you could argue he was a 6th man of the year candidate. Guys like Nazir Little, even Keita Bates-Diop, they've been pretty solid pickups. The sad reality is that this Suns team was only meant to succeed if the big three was healthy. However, that hasn't happened yet. It's reminding me of that 2021 Brooklyn team. Like, that Brooklyn team and this Suns team is so damn similar, it's starting to scare me. The difference is I don't know how this Suns team is going to end. And look, the thing is, I don't know a lot of people that are going to say this that are Suns fans, because a lot of people want to believe in this team, and I wanted to believe in it too, but honestly, I'm not confident right now. In fact, there hasn't been a moment I've been confident since that like 7-game win streak that we went on. And look, the funny thing is the Suns could go on a 10-game win streak, or they could jump to 1st or even 2nd in the conference. I am not confident in this team come playoff time. I don't give a fuck about the regular season. We could win 70 games in the regular season, but who cares if we go out the 2nd round? I do not care how this team ends up in the standings. I don't care. I want to see this team win a championship. And by the looks of it, there's no way this team even makes the conference finals. And I know people are gonna get mad at me. Oh, you're a Suns fan. Aren't you supposed to defend this team? Yes, I should defend this team when they deserve it. The difference is I'm a real Suns fan who can critique my own fucking team. Because the funny part is, I know the real Suns fans are very understanding. I follow some of them on Twitter. They're like, yo, this team, they need help. But there's half of y'all that are fake as shit that got here when Chris Paul was traded or when we got Kevin Durant. Y'all motherfuckers don't know what it's like losing by 50 on your opening night of your 50th anniversary. Don't ever fucking question my credibility as a Suns fan as somebody that knows this team. Oh, you haven't watched the game. Shut the fuck up, bitch. I know a lot about this team because I've watched every single game. I pay attention to this team because they're my favorite team. So when I say something like, yeah, I don't think this bench is ready, or yeah, I think they relied on a big three that is too injury prone, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I got motherfuckers in my comment section. Oh, you don't know anything about the Suns. Oh, you're a fake fan. Shut the fuck up, bitch. All right, now that the fake Suns fans are gone, I'm finally glad y'all see what I'm trying to say. At the end of the day, I feel like management could have done a better job. Not getting a true point guard, not getting a better bench, and focusing on creating a big three, that just wasn't gonna work. Honestly, there was a part of me that wished we kind of just trade Bradley Beal, but I think they're still trying to make this work, and to that I understand. But unfortunately, right now with the way this team is, I don't see a positive direction. I am interested to see what the Suns are going to do during the trade deadline, and I know that's a long way away, but still. There's not really much I want to say to end off this video, so I made a video about the Golden State Warriors because they're also a team that's been struggling. So of course, if you guys want to go see that, click the video right here.